Well, earlier this week, we shared the story of a South Bend firefighter who was in the fight for his life. Only 36 years old, Joshua Camo recently learned he had brain cancer.
But Josh and his family didn't have the typical reaction to the cancer diagnosis. In fact, they look at it as a blessing.
Listen closely. Woven into the lyrics, Josh Camo is singing about his cancer.
Why do we have to die?
0.002% of adults suffer from glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer that claims the lives of more than 90% of its victims. But Josh doesn't let that statistic isolate him.
Even though we think that we might be forgotten, we never in fact truly are.
He was diagnosed in June.
This is my scan.
Symptoms of the avocado-sized tumor pressing on his brain caused him to accidentally crash the South Bend fire truck he was driving. Fire department policy: you get in an accident, you take a urine test.
I went in and everything seemed normal.
No drugs, no alcohol, not even high blood pressure. But doctors noticed something was off.
Having increasing difficulty following commands. Like they're like, raise your hands, and I'm like, put my hands out. They're like, touch your nose, and I'm trying to touch their nose, and I'm like, I know they must think I'm crazy, and right now I'm feeling like I am drunk, but I know I'm not.
Josh wasn't crazy, but sick.
They said you have 2 lesions on your brain, and it's squashing your ventricle, one of the ventricles in your brain, and it's trying to shut it down. And I was like, wow, that's great news.
Not your typical response, but for a man who rests his life firmly in his faith, he was happy for any answer. Days after diagnosis, he was in the OR for brain surgery and told the average survival post-surgery, only 14 months.
I know how I'm gonna die, I know that my life is finite. Nothing's guaranteed for any of us. But it was kind of an invitation to be like, all right, start living.
So that's exactly what Josh and his wife Rosary are doing.
Now it's just celebrating all the little victories and embracing each moment. So just an extra snuggle from one of the little kids that doesn't like to snuggle very much, or just heartfelt moments that Josh and I will share with one another.
They and their 5 kids are enjoying the little things, like playing outside and getting a hug from their daughter.
Coming home and seeing Annabelle run to me and just say, Daddy, is like, that's worth more to me than anything in the world now. And seeing my little daughter, Grace, just like, before I would get so annoyed when she would wake up at night, and now I'm so ecstatic when I get to wake up and hear her cry, because it's like, I'm still alive, like, thank you, God,
And I remember at one point in time when he was being wheeled back from the MRI, just saying to him, all right, if we're gonna do brain surgery, we're gonna kick brain surgery's butt. And if we're gonna do brain cancer, we're just gonna kick its butt.
Music and prayer are now cornerstones of his recovery. His family, his muse.
Goal number 1, that's what I want to do, raise my family, get this, give all my daughters away to the church or to, worthy husbands,
Either way, his glory still wins the day.
Meanwhile, members of the fire department have stepped up, donating their vacation time and finishing up household projects.
Every time I look at what they've done, it's like, it's just a labor of love.
Cancer is never an easy diagnosis.
The beauty of the road.
I still have my moments where I break down and I just cry.
But with prayer, a positive outlook, and the simple things in life, Joshua Camo is determined to survive.
Wow. Really, it was a really amazing family to get the chance to meet, and you can't really help but tear up. The kids, they're all amazing and great parents, and the fire department has done a lot. They've been helping fix up the house, do everything that you're not really supposed to be doing if you're on chemo and radiation. But again, the family is taking this and they've tackled it as, you know, something as an incentive to really live life to its fullest. And I think that's a message for everyone, because it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day.
Exactly. And at least with this sort of warning, they know what's coming, and they're able to take that time and to really just enjoy life with their family.
And the doctors even said to them, you know, most people don't have this kind of positive outlook. And, you know, there's even the internal, you know, if you think you're going to beat this, I think it's part mental,
and a positive outlook really goes a long way in a lot of folks, you know, with a lot of cancer survivors. It was the positive outlook. So we really, really wish them the best, and
had to share their story a second time.
Had to share their stories. Lots of prayers go out to their family.
Well, new this